Through everything, even the smaller things, even the harder things, we stick together. Through everything, even the bigger things, nothing's impossible if we stay together. Through everything, even the smaller things, even the
All right, welcome to another episode of Can You Connect? And of course, this is Mr. Walk That Walk. And today's episode is going to be on dating somebody with a motor disorder. So we're going to start off with people with developmental coordination disorder. I wasn't able to find anybody, let's say, in a relationship with somebody with that disorder, but I did find a few videos of people living with the disorder, and we could kind of correlate how that would be potentially if somebody was dating somebody or in a relationship with somebody. Thus far, people with developmental coordination disorder, they have issues with coordination, they have issues with, let's say, handwriting, let's say zipping things up, let's say they're grabbing something but it falls. So if they're having, imagine somebody's daily tasks. They're getting up, showering, let's say women putting on makeup or any of those things, brushing teeth, they may take a bit longer than other people. Thus far, let's say maybe the partner could potentially get upset because it often takes long for them to get out the house or for them to get to their destination, because they often have to wait on their partner to get ready, and that takes a bit longer than other people. Other things they may have to deal with is, let's say when that person was younger with developmental coordination disorder, they had these issues with being active, so it's hard for them to either play sports, so they may have a hard time in PE. So, and due to them having a hard time in PE, they may get judged, they may get bullied by other kids, which often affects their self-esteem, may cause some type of depression or anxiety when performing certain activities in front of other people. They may also get embarrassed, so that could affect them maybe wanting to approach somebody to date somebody, or maybe feeling like they don't belong or they can't connect with people. And due to that, that may stop certain people from getting in a relationship or getting married because of those certain concerns. It often affects their communication as well. So they may have issues with talking too fast or changing the subject, or it could be taking a while to respond due to them trying to gather their thoughts. It may take them a bit longer than other people. So some people may wait for them to communicate, some people may not. They may walk away. So all these things will affect the person if they're in a relationship with that person. They have to be willing to be understanding and be considerate of their partner's flaws or of their partner's disorder and what they have to go through with their disorder. Since I watched a few videos, it seems as though with the coordination disorder that them being in a, let's say, karate club or taekwondo, that was helpful with their coordination, and that also helped with their social skills. So that was more than one person who found that to be helpful. But yeah, all the time it affects like them walking, them talking, them doing daily tasks in the morning, or getting to point A to point B. It also affects their driving skills as well. Being able to get to A to B due to space. Like like something they may be off with something. And there wasn't also a lot for stereotypical movement disorder. But if we could only imagine somebody who's often shaking, so they're often like doing this when they're trying to write or when they're trying to eat. So imagine they have issues with being in a public place, going out to a restaurant, which everybody does, but they may have an issue with that because they don't want to be judged. And their partner has to kind of like encourage them or kind of coerce them to go out and be like, it'll be okay. And oftentimes they probably have to protect them, from other people who may be judging them. And this is going to go into the next one with the Tourette's, because I found stuff for people who had like a tic disorder. It was hard to find something from the other ones, but we're going to say that how these couples feel about their partner with Tourette's is most likely how they would feel if they had a developmental coordination or a stereotypical movement disorder. Because it's the same but not at the same time, but it's similar. So stereotypical, we'll finish with there's an embarrassment, with them consistently shaking and knocking things over. That also goes into knocking things over because if they're constantly shaking, then it's hard for you to get certain things done. So they'll also take long getting ready. They'll also have a fear of leaving the house. And those will affect somebody if they're in a relationship with somebody who has a stereotypical movement disorder due to those things holding them back from really going out and thriving. It could affect work as well, depending on what you're doing for work. Let's say if you're typing, if you have to type something up, or if you're in a hands-on work environment where you have to build something or put something together. If that person is maybe a teacher, it might be a little easier unless you have to write on the board or something. So depending on what it is, it could affect all these factors of life. So going on to the next one is going to be, the last one is going to be a tic disorder, but more so focus on Tourette's. There's two other tic ones as we went over in the last video. But the main one is going to be focused on Tourette's because that's where most of the information was out on. Thus far, I found two couples. This one is somebody with Tourette's and somebody without Tourette's disorder. At times, when they first met, the person with Tourette's told their partner on the first date about them having Tourette's. So them being open and honest, that partner felt, you feel good about somebody who's being able to be honest with you and be upfront with you about what's going on so that they can make the decision if they want to continue forward with you or not. And because if they continue forward, they know they're going to be supportive of you having a tic disorder, which goes into that partner who doesn't have it often, worrying about somebody judging their partner when they're out in public. So they may feel maybe a bit on guard and maybe a bit overprotective, worrying about somebody saying something to their partner because it's something where they feel uncomfortable about, to where, that partner often worries about feeling judged when they go out, feeling like people are watching them, like everybody has the eyes on them because they look different and they're not like everybody else. So you can see where the issue comes in when people who have motor disorders you don't see them that often because they don't want to go out and they don't want to be put on the spot. And a person without the Tourette's disorder often said that they feel bad when their partner is having a bad day, because a bad day for somebody with a tic disorder, they suffer with multiple tics throughout the day. Maybe if they're having a better day, it's less tics, But if it's a bad day filled with maybe something bad happened at work, or they was overstressed or overwhelmed, or something happened with family, those things could kind of push it over the edge to where that person would be having a bad day, and the other person who doesn't have it kind of feels bad because you kind of can't stop it, and they can only just be there to be present to try to help their partner feel comfortable. And the person with Tourette's often feels as though a worry is if they're in a relationship or married, giving their disorder to their children. So that's often a worry for them. But of course, to the partner who doesn't have it, they're not worried about it because I accept you and I'm going to accept the kids if they have it. So that's her mindset about it. And the person who doesn't have it often tries to educate other people about it to make them more aware and more understanding, because he understood at a certain time he wasn't that aware of it and wasn't understanding or wasn't empathetic towards it. Maybe when he was younger. And they said that her disorder made their relationship stronger. So it's probably due to him wanting to protect her. He's more empathetic towards her. She was open about it when they on a first date. So he's able to be aware of it, and he's able to be empathetic. He's able to be understanding, and through that, that's how their relationship grew. Him being supportive of her. Now, these is the next two. The next one is two people that have Tourette's are in a relationship, but both of them said that they were not going to get with somebody who had the Tourette's disorder. However, they did get with each other and they did get in a relationship, and oftentimes they felt like that was the best for them, because who's going to understand you better than somebody who has your disorder? So they felt heard, they felt understood. When they say that I understand how you feel, they know that person understands it because they have it. So that's the point of view they came from. But at first they worried about it because, they worried about it being overwhelming, and people with tic disorders can trigger each other. So it could be like this, like let's say if one of them's having a bad day, let's say the tics could be like this, so it could continue to elevate. And depending on the tic disorder, depending on the tic, it could be a passive thing or it could be an aggressive thing. Somebody could have like violent tics. Somebody could have like I don't know if you heard, like some of them have outbursts, but some of them also could hit the other person. They talked about it. It was like, yeah, one time that they hit me, due to the tic, or one of them struggles with, let's say, punching things when they had tics. So sometimes it could be a bit aggressive. So those are things to keep in mind, due to that. So, that goes into breaking things again. That goes into developmental coordination and stereotypical movement disorder, because oftentimes they break things. Oftentimes it comes off as clumsy or something as though, but it's due to things that's out of their control. So these are things to be aware about. Since they have that understanding of each other, they're able to cope with it better because they both have it. However, one of them he iterated that, and this is one of them that did go out. So they actually went out, they go to the mall, and one of them said that when they go out, they have issues, they may shut down they may have a shutdown due to their ticks being overwhelming. So, and I witnessed it. His ticks was overwhelming to the point where you're trying to communicate something, but the tick is preventing that. So then I saw the anger coming out. I was like, okay, here's the anger now, because he can't communicate what he's trying to get across to people because of the tick, which can also cause frustration, especially if the person who's supposed to be receiving the information is not being receptive or not being patient with them. So these are some things to be aware about, because they may feel judged and they may feel misunderstood out in the public because we're not taking the time to give everybody grace. So these are just certain things to think about, certain things to keep in mind. And this will conclude this episode. The next one is going to be on the next disorder that I'm going to be going over. And of course, we're going to be supporting Black-owned businesses. It was an event going on that I went to, and this lady she made soaps, and she had different like colognes. So I brought one of the colognes. I'll put her information in the description. Of course, I have an artist who made my avatar and the singer and the intro and the outro. I'll put their information in the description. And myself, I'm a clinical social worker in the state of Maryland. So if you need anything, or if anybody needs therapy, just send me an email and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. So, yeah, definitely thank you for watching, and y'all definitely have a good rest of the day and a good rest of the week.
Our lives filled with drama. Our homes, they feel empty. Our dreams slowly shattered, and our bodies are bruised and battered. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Is there a way for a future commitment? Why do we wait to repaint the world? When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah, yeah. When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our emotions have no home. Our feelings have long gone. Our beautiful wet mind can't see the beauty in them. Our men are not standing strong. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Whoa, is there a way for a future commitment? Why do we wait to repaint the world? Yeah. it's hard, I